Why not? As I said, whatever I say or do is going to get muted out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do a voiceover and edit it. So.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I got to kind of talk it through, else I won't know what the heck I'm doing. So come in. It's blinking, so you know you got it right. You hold down the big fat button. Mode, time, config. I'm going to move over to time and set the time. Do we want a 24-hour clock or a 12-hour clock? We're an American, gosh darn it. We'll go with a 12-hour clock. AM or PM. I'm going to go backwards to PM. What time is it? Then I'll move forward to
3:37.
whatever the current time is.
3:37.
3:37. Just make someone laugh at me while I'm pushing this button a whole bunch of times. Hey, I don't care. Year. Starts 20 whatever, so we're going all the way up to 2020. Month, it is December. October. That's why it's muted. 22nd.
Yeah.
And then we go over to config. So, how do we want the screen? High backlight, off, low backlight. We're going to leave it with a high backlight unless something's easier to see. Is that easier to see? Or is that easier to see?
That's easier to see.
That's what then we'll just leave it there. Daylight savings, yes or no? Unfortunately, we live in this commie country. It's yes for now. Boo. I'd rather it be that, but we'll stick with that. Latitude and longitude. Easiest way to do that is you bring up Google Maps, find where you are, hold down until the little red tag comes up, and you have your latitude and longitude. So we are already at 33.6. I hit that for 33. Longitude is negative 117. This here's at 109. So I just move it up to 117. Move it up to move it down to negative 117. And then boom. And then we can adjust a little bit. So as we notice, it is negative 117.6. That's a little bit more than halfway. So we can move it back just a tad to adjust for that a little bit. Now we move on to programming. Program 1, what time do you want the time to come on? So we set yes, we're ready for program 1. Do we want it to be all 7 days of the week, Sundays only, Mondays only, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, no days of the week? We'll go with every day of the week. Boom. Now, we want the time to come on at 5 p.m., midnight. As you notice, this here has the sun and the moon. So right now, today, sunset is at 5:10 where I'm at. So do I want the sunlight to come on at sunset? Do I want to come on at a specific time? Or do I want it to come on at sunrise at 5:58 a.m.? Is that really sunrise?
I feel like it's still dark at
Not this
6.
time.
And then again, you can set for it to come on at a specific time. So let's say we want the lights to come on in the morning, every day at 5. We want the lights to come on in the morning, every day at 5:30. Then we move to program 1 off. And we want the lights, again, we can have lights turn on and off whatever days of the week we want, still every day of the week. And we want the lights to come off at sunrise. Boom. Boom. Now the light's going to come on at sunrise, turn off at sunrise. So whatever time sunrise is, the lights will turn off. That way you'll always have the lights on when you leave the house, whether or not the sun is up or not. Hit the big button to be happy with it, and then we can move on. I just cycle through the whole thing. Now we move on to program number 2. Right now we don't have a program number 2. Program number 2 instead of none. This time we want the lights to come on. Again, we'll leave it with every day of the week. We want them to come on at sunset. And here we can adjust it to be, they come on 10 minutes before sunset. Off. What time do we want the lights to turn off? Well, we now want them to turn off every day at 10:30. And now it's programmed. Program spot number 3 is empty, 4 is empty, 5 is empty. We have multiple program spots, so if you want to get super fancy and technical with your lights, go for it, because you have 21 programming stations.
Damn. Okay.
So you can have basically 3 programming stations for every day of the week. Once we are done and happy, we hold down the programming button and boom. Now for manual override, this big button here turns it on and turns it off. And this here, we can cycle through to see what the program times are for that day that we are currently on. So today's Thursday, and we're timed for that. On, manually, off, manually. Happy programming.
Oh, that would be a nice little. It'd be cute to put that at the end.
Sure.
Happy program.
We can turn it off,
Mm-hmm.
unless we just want people to sit there and watch the clock tick by,
Wouldn't that be lovely?
maybe. A little late.
I don't know. I figured you might want to do 1 or 2 if you're happy with that whole thing.
I was happy. I figure we'll fix it and edit if there's something there. As we talked about earlier, we'll just do a voiceover.
Yep. I mean, you're happy with like
Button pushing?
button pushing, and did you push something that you shouldn't?
No.
Okay, 'cause that's the only thing. I can't make your finger go from this button to this button if you needed something different. So if you want to have any of that happen, then we'll just shoot like the small little one.